It's been 5 days since he last took the mound, and not much has gone right since. The ace of the rotation dominated the Mets in his last trip to the mound at Citizens Bank Park. 4 losses and a losing streak needs to come to an end. Cole gets the baseball, and that opportunity next. After a little taste of summer a few days ago, it's a taste of spring in the city of Philadelphia. We come inside the ballpark, and the Phils are hoping to end a 4-game losing streak. Tonight, they'll take on the Pittsburgh Pirates. It's Game 3 of a 4-game set. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Ben Davis. Well, the last time the Phillies won a ball game, the guy that's on the mound for them is on the mound again tonight. It's Cole Hamels. Phillies thought after they won Game 1 of this homestand that they might put together their best homestand of the season. Well, not so much. They've lost 4 straight since Cole was on the mound.
It hasn't worked out that well for the Phillies in these outings, and it really has to come down to starting pitching. The starting pitching has not gotten deep into ball games. They're giving up one big hit after the other, and that's something that has to stop. Hopefully Cole can do that tonight. Well,
this is what he did in his last outing against the New York Mets. This was his best outing of the regular season, best outing of spring training, total command of all of his pitches in this game.
And that's been huge for him, because he really hasn't had great command of that changeup. That is his out pitch. He can throw it to righties and lefties. Big advancement he's made this year is that breaking ball, and that's why there's such a low left-handed hitter's batting average.
Well, we know that the Phillies don't score a whole lot of runs for him, but his numbers at home, very good. A 2.16 earned run average on the road, a 5.68 ERA. So the Phils are hoping that the home success will continue tonight against the Pirates. On the flip side, Francisco Liriano has only faced the Phillies 1 time in his career. It was last year, and he had a 12-strikeout game.
He's a 3-pitch pitcher, but he is outstanding when he's on. He can make you fish for that slider at any time. When he's got his fastball located, he can be very tough. We'll mix in some changeups, but this outing last year against the Titans was as good as it could get.
When he was with the Minnesota Twins, everybody thought that he would take over nicely for Johan Santana. He was an all-star, had a lot of shoulder problems, but now he's healthy with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
He has been, and listen, I mean, this guy is really, really good. Just have to wait him out. He will give you something to hit, but the biggest thing the Phillies offense has to do tonight is not swing at that slider in the dirt.
8 innings, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts, 106 pitches last season. When he faced the Phils, it was his only time in his big league career. So it is Game 3 of this 4-game series, the Phils and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Well, they'll have to deal with Andrew McCutchen and Josh Harrison. Why do we bring those 2 guys up? Because both of those guys went yard last night. A 3-run homer for Harrison, a 2-run shot for McCutchen. Lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball. next on Friday night, dueling with Matt Harvey. Cole took the bat with confidence and kept Mets hitters off balance the entire night. His location was precise for 7 solid innings, allowing just 4 hits and only 1 extra base hit. The Mets went down on strikes 8 times, 7 times swinging. Hamels bested the undefeated Harvey with 60% first pitch strikes in his best performance of the season. And it's brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. Live fearless. Well, the Phillies are hoping for the same kind of performance from Cole Hamels here tonight as he led the Phillies out onto the field for the start tonight against the Pittsburgh Pirates. Let's take a look at the Pirates lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Harrison, Rodriguez, and McCutchen, followed by Starling Marte, Corey Hart, and Francisco Cervelli. And the bottom third of Walker, Mercer, and Liriano. And, of course, Cole coming in with a record of 2-3, an earned run average of 3.68. On this cool May night, he is ready to go. And the first batter he'll face is Josh Harrison. First pitch of the night is in there for strike. It's 0-1. And our scouting report, Ben, on Cole Hamels.
Average velocity on his fastball, 91.6. It has gone up recently. Cutter, change, and curve. In career versus Pittsburgh, he's 2-2 with a 2.76 ERA.
Last time he faced the Pirates was 2013. He faced them on 2 occasions. He was 1-1 with an earned run average of 1.80. At a play, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Harrison last night was 1 for 3. The one, though, was a 3-run home run. He's had a slow year and an even slower year against left-handers, and Hamels picks up his first strikeout of the night. Well, the changeup looked pretty good.
It sure did. And this is a pitch. You can see him gripping that circle change there. I mean, it's just as good as it gets. He just has such a feel for that. In the last 2 starts, well, hopefully we consider this last 2 starts, but he's been struggling with that at times this year, and that's not like him.
Well, he works ahead of Sean Rodriguez. Rodriguez has pinch hit in both games so far, getting a chance to make his 6th start of the year. He's been very good for them off the bench. A late defensive replacement at first base. 1 ball, 1 strike to Rodriguez. Popped it up, and that'll be out of play. The wind is going to take everything to the right tonight. Time now, Ben, for our Nissan keys to the game.
The keys for me, I'm going back defensively first. Stop it, Cole. Stop this losing streak. 4 in a row is enough. And hit me a homer. I'd like to see a homer tonight.
Maybe it's something more than a solo shot, too.
They just need, get some runs on the board.
Well, there's a nasty cutter and back-to-back strikeouts now for Hamels. He gets Harrison on the changeup and Rodriguez on a cutter, 2 away. Well, Andrew McCutchen, if the wind wasn't blowing in, this would have been 20 rows up. Instead, it just got out of the ballpark.
Yeah, he sat there and admired it for a second. I would too. Hit a ball that hard, but it just barely crept out of here. But I think you're right. If the wind had been blowing a little differently,
it was listed as over 400 feet. Overall, hitting .229. He delivers or takes low. 1 ball, no strikes. McCutchen's 2 for 6 of this series. Couple runs scored. Swing and a miss. Changeup at 86. That's a little hotter than usual for Cole.
It is, but that's because the velocity on his fastball has also gone up.
1 ball, 1 strike to McCutchen. Swing and a miss again. Another changeup. 86 again. So back-to-back changeups at 86 miles per hour.
You may say that's a little hard, but the location. Location.
But he nails Andrew McCutchen. So the Pirates have a base runner with 2 men down. He certainly did not intend to do that.
No, he did not. You can see Cole was visibly upset there. Kutch will take it, though. Andrew McCutchen will take this. Get hit right in the tail. Down 1-2. I'll take that. I just think Cole tried to overthrow that one.
Here's Starling Marte, who's the cleanup batter. 1 for 6 so far in the series. And he pops it foul out of play. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Marte 272, 8 home runs, 24 runs batted in. He does have 3 hits lifetime against Hamels. Keeping McCutcheon in check over at first base.
Well, still a threat to steal, not like he was when he first came up.
A hold on that pull up on the leg by Hamels, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Cutter that was a little high. Nobody was better than that than Jamie Moyer when he used to lift his leg and then hold it, just to get an idea of what the base runner is going to do. Swing and a miss. Well, he's throwing a lot of changeups to these Pirates hitters. They're aggressive against him, so it's not a bad game plan.
Especially when you're throwing it that effectively. I've always said Cole has that changeup. You literally could get it as a hitter, sit on it, get it, and still swing through it. Especially if he has that, it almost has like a little hump and a little dive. If he has that, good luck.
This time, Marte holds off. 2 balls, 2 strikes to the Pirates cleanup hitter. Corey Hart waits on deck. Popped him up. This will be out of play. It may have started out in foul territory, but and it remains to it. Man, the wind is really whipping. I mean, it was breezy here today, but it was nothing like this. Current conditions 67 degrees, 16 miles per hour. Inside 3-2, so McCutcheon will be off. We got the first 2 batters on strikeouts. Was ahead of Andrew McCutcheon, 2 strikes, and then hit him. And now it's 3 balls and 2 strikes to Marte with Hart on deck.
I was coming across that Gerard Point Bridge today by the Navy Yard, and my truck was.
Was it really?
It was moving. It was moving.
Kind of night where you are going to need a blanket and maybe a heavier jacket. Runner goes, soft ground ball to second. Boy, the ball just died in the grass. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, and 1 man left. Couple strikeouts for Hamels. He's through 1 onto the bottom of the first. First chance for the Phillies against Francisco Liriano. Be the igniter here tonight in Game 3 of the series. Let's take a look at the Phillies starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. It'll be Revere, Galvis, and Utley, followed by Darren Ruff. Ryan Howard bats 5th. Jeff Brancourt 6th. Cesar Hernandez is at 3rd base. He'll bat 7th. Hitting 8th is Carlos Ruiz. And, of course, Cole bats 9th. They'll face the veteran left-hander Francisco Liriano, now 31 years old, 1-2 this season, with an earned run average of 2.79. 44 strikeouts and 38 2/3 for Liriano. Here's the scouting report on him.
91 to 94 with his fastball, change, slider is his out pitch. He can throw it down and into righties, down and away to lefties, and he's got a 1.27 ERA in road games this season. So Cole has a great ERA here at home. He's got a good road ERA.
Well, here's Ben Revere to lead it off. He's 2 for 9 in the series. When Liriano first came up with the Twins, we mentioned before that he was kind of the guy they thought would replace Johan Santana. He had a pretty good changeup when he came up, as that one is pulled out to right, and Hart comes shuffling in, and there's one away. Shoulder problems kind of derailed his success. You read some of the articles about Francisco Liriano, and they basically have said that he didn't do any of his strengthening exercises during the offseason. So when he came to spring training, his arm was kind of out of shape, and that led to the shoulder difficulties.
That'll do it.
Freddie Galvis, 6 for 19 on the homestand, and it's 0-1.
Which leads me to the question, why? Why would you do that?
I don't know. Comfort? Complacency? Today's Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is John Hosey of Percy. Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Big John will win $200.
Good luck, John.
2 balls and 1 strike. Just a bit outside. Cervelli holds onto it for a moment. Toby Pasner behind the plate. That one is served into right center field, a base hit. And Galvis now 7 for 20 on this homestand. And he's aboard with 1 away, and Chase Utley is coming up for the first time. Francisco Liriano currently ranks 1st in the least amount of hits per 9 innings, 1st in opponent's batting average, and of course that kind of goes hand in hand with opponent's on base percentage, where he's 4th. So like A.J. Burnett, he hasn't gotten the run support. And let's hope that continues here tonight. It didn't continue for Burnett last night. Chase has hit in 4 consecutive games. His average is now at 127. He's actually got up 30 points during that time.
That is the only good thing about this early season, is if you do able to get a few hits, that you'll see that average skyrocket. Because we're only a month and a half in.
Down and away, 1 ball, 1 strike. Chase was kind of backing out of the batter's box as that pitch was coming in.
I don't know if Toby Basner did not give him time, or Chase didn't request it, or sometimes if it's too late, you're just not going to get granted that timeout.
Outside and low, 2-1. During this homestand, Chase is 4 for 15. That includes 2 for 7 in the series against the Pirates. Swing and a miss. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Throws a fastball that was in the low 90s. It's a pretty good bite on it, though.
Very good bite. He hides the ball extremely well. I mean, you will see some different swings tonight by some of the Phillies because A, because he's good, and B, because he does hide the ball.
He kind of jumps at you. And a foul tip. Cervelli hangs on, and Nutley is struck out. So 2 outs here in the first. And that'll bring Darren Ruff to the plate.
It's more of a cutter there. That wasn't his big slider that he throws.
Well, Darren Ruff getting a chance to play left field tonight. Just 1 hit on this homestand. Hitting under 100. First pitch is low. 1 ball, no strikes. There with 2 home runs, 6 runs batted in. Takes a strike, and it's 1-1. Pitch was a little up.
You know, this would be a good time for my second key of the game. Hit me a homer.
This would be a good time because somebody's on base.
Some might say it'd be opportune.
We hope they take advantage of the opportunity. In the dirt, and now 2 balls and 1 strike. On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, Nationals have defeated the Diamondbacks 9-6. Michael Taylor back with the ball club. Hit a grand slam. The Nationals are red hot. They wound up losing last night, but now they're back on track again. They've won 8 of 10. That one is floated out toward right center field. Galvis is going to get to third. And the Phillies will have first and third with 2 men down. Not a bad approach when you're facing somebody like Liriano.
Not at all, especially when you're up in the count. Just look for something up out over the plate. And that's a good thing about Darren Ruff is he can use the whole field. Not trying to do too much there. You know, if he gets big there, he says, you know what, I'm going to put us up 2-0. Get big, you hit a lazy fly ball. Now you have something going. So hopefully Ryan Howard can drive in Freddie, maybe even Darren here.
Ryan hitting .217. He does have 6 home runs, 15 runs batted in. He and Chase Utley lead this lineup in RBIs, and a little dribbler foul, and it's 0-1.
I thought Freddie was stealing home there.
Galvis was. You can see where the mark is where he eventually stopped. It's nearly halfway down the third base line.
I mean, he was down into here.
Yeah.
In that territory right there. Obviously, you have a lefty on the mound back turned towards you, so he can't see Freddie. You can see there his mark. And then Josh Harrison is playing well off the line.
That one's hit sharply back toward the middle. Mercer has it. And the Phillies are retired here in the first. No runs, 2 hits, and 2 men left. We've played 1. We'll head to the second. Pirates nothing, and the Phillies nothing. closing soon. That's right. You have until 9 p.m. tonight to bid on items such as broadcasting an inning on radio with L.A. and Scott, private hitting clinic with Ryan Howard, a kids sleepover in the Phillies clubhouse. Why don't you do that? In partnership with 94 WIP and 1210 WPHT. The fantastic auction benefits Phillies charities. Again, we have until 9 o'clock for some of those great items, and then the next phase will close tomorrow. I think Tag would love to have a slumber party in the Phillies clubhouse.
Yes, he would.
Corey Hart leads it off. He hasn't played in the series. Takes inside. 2 balls, 1 strike.
You know, he's funny that we were talking in spring training. The players were so gracious with, you know, my older son down in spring training. Now he thinks he's boys with all of them.
They always do.
He's like, oh yeah, I know Chase and I know Ryan. And okay, buddy.
That's good though.
But yeah, you know, they were so gracious to him.
Inside 3-2, so another 3-ball 2-strike count for Hamels. He's had 2 so far. He can pull that changeup out anytime he wants. 3 strikeouts for Hamels, 1 out here in the second.
On a certain night, if you do have a strikeout pitch, you're going to throw a lot of pitches because you need 3 strikes for a strikeout. But you like to see him get to that a little earlier. But the way this changeup is tonight, knock on wood, I think you might see a few more of those.
Well, now Francisco Cervelli, who was 2 for 3 in last night's game. Both hits were doubles. And the first pitch to him. Cutter inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Overpowered him with that pitch. It's 1-2. It's a fastball at 92, but it was up a little bit.
He went after it, but it was by him.
No curveballs so far from him.
No.
Off the glove of Ruiz. And now 2 balls and 2 strikes. He's really pounded it inside to these hitters. Part of the reason why he hit Andrew McCutchen earlier in the game.
And all that's going to do is open up the outside part of the plate. That leaves him with a lot more options. Obviously, you can go to that changeup, backdoor that cutter, throw a 4-seamer or a sinker down and away as well. Another full count.
Line drive base hit it to center field. So that's the first hit for the Pirates. It's a 1-out single for Cervelli. And that'll bring Neil Walker to the plate. Neil Walker, who batted second in the first 2 games of this series, but that's because there were right-handers on the mound to start the game. He's a much better hitter left-handed, hitting over 300 than right-handed, hitting 125 from the right side of the plate. Takes inside, 1 ball, no strikes.
Being a former switch hitter, it seemed like my at-bats would always come in bunches, whether that be right-handed or left-handed. It just seemed like there was always a lefty on the mound or always a righty, and you got a lot of at-bats from that side of the plate at that time. It never really seemed like it was evened out. Obviously, there's a lot more right-handed pitchers, but, you know, it just seemed like, and you kind of do get into a rhythm. You know, if you see a lot of lefties, you start to feel more comfortable from the right side, and vice versa.
Did you ever choose one side over another, even if there was let's say, if Did you bat right-handed against a righty ever, or left-handed against a lefty ever? I don't think you'd do it against a lefty, but you might do it righty on righty.
One time I had to do it. I believe it was my second year in Seattle. I had pulled my right oblique, and I could only hit left-handed for a little while or right-handed until that healed. And I remember I had to face, I believe it was Chan-Ho Park. I had to face him righty. And I didn't like it.
Well, the count to Walker. And there's ball 4. He just walked him on 4 pitches. So the Pirates have 2 on with 1 out. And Jordy Mercer is coming up. Pirates have really dominated the Phillies recently here at Citizens Bank Park. We've talked over the last few years about how the Phillies have struggled out in Pittsburgh. Well, the struggles have carried over here to Philadelphia. They've won 8 of 9 here at Philadelphia. But I guess part of it is the fortunes of the 2 franchises have changed over the last several years too. Mercer takes low. It's 5 in a row out of the strike zone.
I wonder if the wind's affecting him at all. Now, whether that being able to get a grip on the baseball, I mean, it can't be easy to have any type of moisture out there with this wind.
Well, it's hit off the foot of Mercer, and it's 2-1. Yeah, I mean 67 degrees, but you're thinking less about the temperature, more about the breeze.
Yeah, it's more the wind. I mean, it's it can affect you. I mean, it is whipping around out there. Tell you what, double play here would really help not only Cole and the Phillies, but his pitch count.
Swing and a miss. He gets him with a changeup. 2 balls, 2 strikes. See what Mercer's numbers are with runners in scoring position. He's hitting just 186, which is kind of along the lines of the way he started last year. He started April hitting 167, May hitting 225. But he wound up hitting 255 for the season. Grounds that one foul. Got him with a fastball. 92 upstairs. 4 strikeouts for Hamels. And now 2 outs here in the second. Francisco Liriano is due up.
The fastball away, elevates it. I don't think he wanted to elevate it that much, but I still think, he went back-to-back changeups on Mercer. I think he was looking for a third one there. And that's why he was able to get away with that elevated fastball.
Well, the other 3 strikeouts, the other strikeouts he's had tonight are all on changeups. And now he gets one with a fastball. So runners on first and second. Liriano just 1 for 12 on the year. He serves it out to left, and Darren Ruff played perfectly. Makes the catch. No runs, 1 hit. 2 men left for the Pirates. 42 pitches for Hamels through 2. We'll go to the bottom of the second here in Philadelphia. those who lost their lives in the derailment of the Amtrak train in Port Richmond last night. Last we heard, 7 known casualties and hundreds injured. And moments before the game, a moment of silence for those who lost their lives in that tragic accident here at Citizens Bank Park. And a nice moment. Boy, I'll tell you what, the folks, the first responders who were there and still are there, an amazing job. Mayor Michael Nutter's done an incredible job. His staff has as well. The NTSB has been on site all day long. We watched the press conference before we came on. As detailed a press conference as you will find. We had heard word that there was a derailment when we left the ballpark last night. Nobody knew at that point that it was this bad of a derailment.
That was bad. And, you know, thoughts and prayers go out to all those involved with this. And it was, you know, the first responders, though, like you said, I mean,
they're unbelievable.
Couldn't ask for anything better. I mean, for such a tragic situation. And, you know, again, our thoughts and prayers go out to all of them.
So many of us have taken that route from Philadelphia to Trenton to New York, you know, whatever. And we know exactly where that area is, where that turn is. And it's gut-wrenching to watch. Bottom of the second, Jeff Francoeur leads it off. Francoeur 0 for 4 last night. Takes outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Two for 18 with 7 strikeouts against Liriano in his career. Way outside, 2-1. Francoeur was mentioning today that his objective against Liriano is to move up in the box a little bit, kind of take away the inside part of the plate. Now he's up a little bit, but not a whole lot compared to the way he usually is.
Yeah, I don't see a whole lot difference there, but you know, at least he has a game plan. You know, it's some hitters, they just go up there and, you know, their game plan is see it and hit it. Well, not against a guy like this.
Inside, 3-2. Liriano thought that was on the black on the inside part of the plate. Cesar Hernandez waits on deck. 3-2 pitch to Francoeur. He went after one in the dirt, and Cervelli will tag him out. Second strikeout for Liriano, and 1 out here in the second.
You know, you're wondering how can he swing at this 3-2? Well, you have a guy that throws in low to mid 90s. You have to respect that. And you're thinking, there's no way he throws me a 3-2 slider in the second inning to lead off the ball or lead off the inning. There's no way. Well, that's what happens. So you gear it up for a heater. Next thing you know, it's breaking down in the dirt, and believe me, I've been there.
Cesar bunts toward third. Not a bad idea. Harrison gloves it, throws on the run. Well, that's a fine play. 2 outs here in the second. It's part of what we talked about last night. Pedro Alvarez struggled last year defensively because Harrison was so good offensively. They could put him in there, and he does this.
Yeah, it's a good play by Harrison, but bottom line is the ball's just bunted a little too hard. Good direction. You know, he wasn't back towards the pitcher. The direction was fine, but it's just a little too firm.
Here's Ruiz, 2 for 8 in the series. Carlos last night was thrown out trying to steal second when Sean O'Sullivan was at the plate. We were wondering what was going on. Was there a sign miss? Well, there was. Ryan Sandberg actually called for a hit and run. And Carlos said, he goes, I got to second. I thought, did I miss a sign? Because it was an odd sign because it was the pitcher. But they're trying to get things going.
Yeah.
Make something happen. It was O'Sullivan who missed the sign on that. Out toward right field and right at Corey Hart. Side is retired in order. So the Phillies go down 1-2-3. We'll head to the top of the third. And as we talked about all day long, it's time to remember for those that lost their lives in the derailment of an Amtrak train. for the Pirates, and that means Josh Harrison's going to stroll to the plate. And he is part of our Geico quote of the day on overcoming his hitting struggles. Storms don't last always. This storm will pass. I keep telling myself this is definitely a test. I'm still positive I'm battling my butt off.
It shows you he believes in himself, and he believes that his hard work will indeed get him out of this.
Well, I guess he is right. You know, he's probably weathered the toughest part of it. So if he stays the course, he'll eventually come out of it. I think he thought last night that 3-run home run would be the igniter for him to come out of it. Struck out his first time up tonight. That one's off the hands down the right field line and foul.
Well, I've always said baseball players in general are the most supremely confident human beings in the world because they're doing the hardest thing to do. Most of them, hitters I'm talking about. They're doing the hardest thing in the world, and that's squaring up a baseball. And if you don't have that confidence, you're in the wrong profession.
Well, that's a comparison to last year. He was hitting 100 points higher at this point last year. Does have a couple more home runs. The wind will blow that well out of play. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
You know, and to look up at your batting average and see it at 175 and still remain that confident, more power to him.
Little bloop out towards center field and a base hit for Harrison. Second hit of the night for the Pirates. Well, it's time now for the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia question. Log on to Phillies.com. Go to the fans section for all the information. Please spit your answer on the subject line. All right, Ben, here we go. The question is, which Pirate went 7 for 7 in a game one day against the Chicago Cubs? 7 for 7. The answer will be revealed a little later on. What year were you born?
77.
It's a shame you weren't around to see this. 1 ball and no strikes.
I was hoping I'd get another nickname question. What was Dave Parker's nickname?
Cobra.
Cobra.
We'll tuck that away for a future Pirate Phillies game. Outside to Rodriguez, it's 2-0.
Seven for 7.
7 for 7.
That'll lift your batting average.
Chopped foul, and it's 2-1.
Shoot, 7 hits was a good month for me. Let alone one day.
What was the best you ever had for a day? Never go like 5 for 5 or anything?
No, I think I went 4 for 4 one day against Atlanta.
That should be 2. Utley's got it. There's 1. Harrison goes after Galvis, but the double play is recorded. 4-6-3. 2 outs. Andrew McCutchen's coming up. Well, Murph, we saw in the first inning that Cole Hamels' fastball was topping out at 94 miles per hour.
It was indeed. And, you know, Tom, you don't have to look any further than Clint Hurdle's lineup to understand what Cole Hamels has been able to do against left-handers this year, because Clint Hurdle has loaded up his batting order with right-handers because he's been very effective against them this year. You take a look, just 154 against left-handers this year. That's what batters are batting against Cole Hamels, left-handers. You know, you look back 218 a year ago, right-handers 236 this year, and a lot of that has to do with that fastball. He's been very very effective. You see he's getting a lot more strikeouts, a lot more ground outs as well. So he's been very effective with that fastball against left-handed batters. So Clint Hurdle decides, hey, you know what? I'm not going to give you that chance today. I'm going to load it up with right-handers. But so far, so good with the righties as well for Cole Hamels, guys.
Absolutely. All right, so Hamels gets through this third. We'll go to the bottom of the third here in Philadelphia. Still no score. Call 1-800-JEFF now or visit jefferson.edu. And buy Chevrolet. Visit your local dealer at chevydealer.com. Not too many places that are better than Bull's Barbecue here at Citizens Bank Park. You get yourself some ribs, some chicken, maybe a turkey sandwich. Located down the, well, not down the right field line, but in right field beyond the seats at the foot of Ashburn Alley. Cole Hamels leads it off. Hamels pulls it to the right. To his left is Walker. One away here in the third. Well, tomorrow is Weather Education Day, brought to you by Citizens Bank here at Citizens Bank Park. Presented by NBC 10 First Alert Weather. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Now, the weather part of it is sold out. 6,800 tickets have been sold for that.
That's
the
great.
Kids around the Delaware Valley. It's a great thought. We've seen it in other places. But the weather folks from NBC 10 and Telemundo will be out here tomorrow before the ball game. But after the game, it's a senior stroll the bases. Tickets, again, can be purchased anytime by going to Phillies.com.
You want to go for a stroll?
I'm not there yet. I guess I can't really say, hey, Ben, are you leading the stroll around the bases? Can't even say it's a Murph. Revere hits it out towards center and slices back to McCutcheon. 2 outs. And that'll bring Freddie Galvis to the plate. By the way, Weather Education Day.
Yes.
The only thing I know is that Hurricane Sheena Bill will be here. The Bill wants 5 gallons of water. He's going to show the kids how to make cloud.
Really?
Yeah. Get here early tomorrow, Ben Davis. Get here early.
On it.
Galvis singled his first time up. He bunts towards first, and it rolls foul.
That stinks. That walk back right there after a bunt foul. You know, I try and lay one down every now and again, and I'm telling you, you get winded. If there's a chance where it might stay fair, you got to go hard the whole 90.
He just looked at the spot where it rolled foul. He's like, huh. outside. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Just left foot out of the batter's box.
It's
right
not.
there.
It's right on the edge.
It's
right on
close.
the edge. We were watching the highlights.
Starts creeping and creeping and creeping.
We were watching the highlights of last year's game against Liriano. And the thing that stood out, I don't know about you, but it stood out to me, is Galvis' stance is nowhere near what it is right now.
Not even close. But it just keeps going farther and farther.
High chopper, fielded by Harrison. And the throw is corralled by Rodriguez. So another 1-2-3 inning for Liriano. He's retired 7 straight. 3 in the books here in Philadelphia. The Phillies and the Pirates still scoreless. Starling Marte. 2015's Food Service Breakout Player of the Year is W.B. Mason, providing amazingly low prices on kitchen disposables, consumables, smallwares, and so much more. From your new restaurant partner, who but W.B. Mason. Look over the shoulder of Ben Revere. Marte bunts it foul.
This bunting thing is contagious.
Sure is. Well, both pitchers are dealing right now. Although the cleanup hitter doesn't usually try to bunt for a base hit.
No.
Out toward left field. Darren Ruff has it sized up. Away.
Especially when you have the numbers like Marte has against the Phillies.
It's not like he's struggling.
You know.
Some people would say that that's selfish. But, I mean, it's a scoreless game in the 4th. If he gets on and Hart hits a home run, then it's not.
It's not selfish if he gets on for a hit.
Hart takes strike 1. It's 0-1.
You know, how is that not helping the team? This is where Cole right here. 0-2. Finish him off in 2 pitches. You know, don't throw any more than 4. You got him down 0-2. That's how you see that pitch count start to escalate. I'm just looking at it. His stuff is just way too good to go full count on guys.
Curveball and a call. Strike 3.
Thanks for listening, Cole.
5 strikeouts for Hamilton. Is that the first curveball? Maybe the second tonight? 77 on that pitch.
First breaking ball. Absolutely. And it wasn't that great a one, but it worked.
So 2 away. Francisco Cervelli's coming up. Cervelli singled up the middle his first time up. Chopper foul, and it's 0-1. Nice play by the guy in the Doc Halladay shirt. Perfectly executed. Balls and 2 strikes. Left side, Cesar Hernandez. Throws him out. A 1-2-3 inning for Hamels. So Cole, with a minimal amount of pitches, gets through this 4th. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Chase Utley will lead things off when we come back. Hurry in today. Toyota, let's go places. And buy McDonald's. Any size hot or iced coffee is just $1. McDonald's, I'm loving it. Oh, look at Ashburn Alley as we get set to go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Francisco Liriano will face Chase Utley, Darren Ruff, and Ryan Howard. Chase's first time up went down on strikes, so he's 0 for 1. Each team with 2 hits so far. The Phillies' hits came in the first off Freddie Galvis's bat and Darren Ruff's bat.
We kind of had an idea of what we were going to get into tonight with these 2 lefties on the mound. Just hope the Phillies can come out on top and just, get a few more hits, string a few together. Last inning by Cole was nice, kept that pitch count down. We'll see what happens.
Well, he takes a strike off the glove of Cervelli. You don't see that often.
Well, at least he knocked it down.
So no balls and 1 strike to Chase. It'll be Utley, Darren Ruff, Ryan Howard here in the bottom of the 4th inning. It's Francisco Liriano. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Joining us now for the dugout is Phillies pitching coach Bob McClure. Bob, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Cole had a pretty easy inning last time, and stuff looked really good in that top of the 4th.
Yeah, it did. And, usually with power pitchers like Cole, it takes them a couple innings to kind of get going and, get into the zone a little bit more. So he's rolling right now.
Bob, as he noticed tonight, his changeup is very, very good. Has he made any adjustments with that changeup?
No, not that I've seen over the 2 years. It's the same changeup as when I came in here. There's no difference to it. No, it's just always been pretty good.
I know a couple starts ago he relied on the curveball a little bit more than the changeup. It's nice that he has that out pitch that he can go to at any time.
Yeah, it is. It's just like when Hart was up there, you know, he had pitched him in a little bit and used his changeup, and then when he got him 2 strikes, you know, he went with a high fastball with 2 strikes and then started the curveball on the same plane. He just gave up on it.
Chase Utley goes down on strikes here, 1 away. Bob, I know we've talked about, and you've talked about this at length about strikes, just throwing strikes, and I know that the pitchers have had some tough times with free passes so far this year. Do you continue to talk that message about pounding the strike zone down and getting it across the knees?
Yeah, you know, you have to always, you know, step in there and just remind them. But you know what you're trying to do too, is especially with the young guys, is continue for them to be confident out there and not trying to aim it, you know, and getting after hitters. And you know, basically what, you know, we just our message basically is, you know, try and get them out with 3 pitches, and so attack the zone. And you know, when you're young, you know, you're trying to strike out guys when the count's 0-0, and you know it doesn't work that way. But it takes a couple of years to kind of, you know, to kind of grow into it and feel confident out there and feel comfortable. And sometimes, you know, it takes some guys a little longer than the others. And you know, it's more with the hard throwers coming out of the bullpen.
Yeah, you know, talking about a hard thrower like Luis Garcia last night, he has that stuff. You guys get back in the game within 1 run. Then they get a 4 spot and he walks the first 2 guys. How is that wearing on you? Because I know you're stressing it, but how are you handling all this?
Well, I'm handling it okay. You know, it's just, you know, I know what it feels like to be in that position. So, you know, I'm trying to do what the coaches did with me, and basically, you know, you alert them to it, but you're not really, you know, you're not down on them because of it, because, you know, I think you have to stay positive. You have to, and they have to stay aggressive. And I think once they get to the point where they really trust their stuff, like the other day when we had Garcia out there, he had a rough little time with 2/3 of an inning, and we sent him back out the other day. And you know, in between innings, I just said, you know, just relax a little bit here and have fun out there. And you know, I think he threw like 9 or 11 pitches and went 1, 2, 3 right through him.
Yeah. Bob, before we let you go, tomorrow Aaron Harang starts, and then Friday it's Chad Billingsley. Those 2 guys, first Harang's been just outstanding so far this year for the Phils.
He has been outstanding, and not only as a pitcher, but a great teammate. You know, he's always got good things to offer, you know, to his teammates, and he's been a joy to be around.
And then Chad making his 3rd start coming up. What have you seen from him as he's progressed back here into the big leagues?
Well, you know, he's you know, his last pen was real good, and you know, he's just kind of shaking the rust off a little bit. You know, 2 years out, you know, from arm injuries, you know, you're a little leery here and there, and so, you know, I think, you know, once he knows that he's not going to hurt his arm, and I think he'll roll.
Bob, we appreciate it. We'll talk to you again down the road.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Bob McClure, the Phillies pitching coach, here in the bottom of the 4th. Phillies go down 1-2-3. We'll head to the 5th here in South Philadelphia. Video scores, schedules, and more. Visit csnphilly.com/app and download today. Well, here we go to the top of the 5th inning. Neil Walker, Jordy Mercer, Francisco Liriano, 2 lefties dueling it out. Cole Hamels and Liriano. First pitch is up high, 1-0 to Walker. Walker's first plate appearance did work out the walk. That'll be foul. And it's 1-1. I know people hear us talking about Cole's run support time and time again. I think we've been talking about it every start for probably the last 3 years. Under 2 runs of support per game. That's not a lot.
You know, Murph and I, we got a chance to meet with some of the season ticket holders in the executive dining room before the game, and one of the questions ticket holders asked was, how does he handle this? You know, knowing that he's not going to get. I said, that's something I think that Cole has really matured at, is not worrying. He can't worry about it. He can just go out and be Cole Hamels and pitch. That's it.
Well, the stat that we talked about during his last outing was if you give him 3 runs or more, dating back to last year, he's 9-0.
Yeah.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Walker. Lays off. Well, he almost offered at it. It's 2-2.
And it's such a trite expression. There you see there. 186. And the 4 games started. I mean, 1.86 runs a game. And that is hard to believe. But it is such a trite expression. Is all the starting pitcher can do is go out and give his team the best chance to win. But that's what he's done.
Right.
So can't fault him for that. Yeah, you want to see that W in the win column in the paper the next day, but you know, he's just handling his business.
A lot of times people say you can't really look at the win-loss record to see how successful a pitcher has been. I think that's true in a lot of cases. Line drive to center field. That'll drop for a hit. And Walker's aboard. It's a leadoff single. Second time tonight the Pirates have had the leadoff batter aboard.
And going back to that fastball, why these left-handed hitters have really struggled against him. I mean, you look at the slugging percentage is way down. The swing and miss percentage is way up. And a lot has to do with the fact that he's throwing fastballs and sinkers in on lefties, getting them off the outside part of the plate, and then that curveball, which we've really talked a lot about this year, is you're getting a lot of swings and misses on that because it has come so far. And he's tried to make that better over the last couple of years, that breaking ball. We saw the usage go up. So, and he's being rewarded with better success with that breaking ball.
There is the breaking ball. It's no balls and 2 strikes. Toyota Major League Scoreboard, we have got a no-hitter sighting. Corey Kluber has 13 strikeouts through 6 innings. 13 of the 18 outs are strikeouts.
Boy, this is such a maddening game at times. The American League Cy Young Award winner last year,
right,
started this season off 0-5.
It's crazy.
It's what makes this game so great.
And it's coincided with their rough start. They're 11-20. So their 11 wins ties the Phillies and the Rockies for the least amount. And the Dirt 2-2.
I would say that Tito's pulling his hair out, but he doesn't have it.
His nose hair. Ow. He was ejected from that ball game
today.
Yeah, so he's not even around to watch it. That one's floated out towards center. It's going to drop for a hit. Walker will stop at second. So the Pirates have runners on first and second with nobody out. Well, time is running out, as we mentioned, for the Phillies' fantastic auction. At least this first phase of it. You have until 9 o'clock Eastern time to bid on such items as the kids' sleepover party in the clubhouse, broadcasting an inning on radio with L.A. and Scott, a complete set of championship flags flown at Citizens Bank Park. The fantastic auction benefits Phillies charities. Go to Phillies.com right now to place your bid. Liriano's up there to try to sacrifice. They try to bunt it toward Hernandez at third. Bunts at it, misses. They throw behind Walker. 0-1.
Keep him close. Why not? Throw one down there.
Check that man's heart rate.
A couple schools of thought on what to throw a guy that's bunting. Do you just really throw high fastballs? Well, if they're too high, they're going to be a ball. Do you throw breaking balls? People say no because they're already going down. It makes it easier on the bunter to bunt the ball down into the ground. So what do? I'd always like to be firm. I always like, because a fastball to me is just harder to bunt because you have to deaden it. Deadening a baseball is the hardest thing to do. Some pitchers get up there, they just bunt it too hard, and they bunt themselves into an out.
So would you try to throw a fastball that's up a little bit above the belt?
Yeah, I mean, I would like to throw it inside as well because they're not used to that. They're not used to pitches being thrown inside.
He gets the bunt down. The play is going to be to first, so the sacrifice is successful.
And he had just enough angle on that where Cole couldn't throw it to third base.
Well, 1 out. That'll bring Josh Harrison to the plate.
You see him deadening the ball there and just getting up the first base line enough. He's at a peak there, but he made the right play to get the out.
All right, so what do the Phillies do here? We're in the top of the 5th inning. I guess they have to play the infield back. I don't think they could. Would you play it in? I mean, you're not getting a whole lot of offense.
Yeah, I mean, he did hit that big home run last night, 3-run homer, but I got to play in here. The simple fact that your offense hasn't been too productive tonight. They only have 2 hits. You can't give them any runs. And Harrison did hit the home run last night, but he's still hitting 183.
So they do play the infield in. The right side is up toward the grass. The left side is back a couple steps.
And you see that breaking ball. The hitters don't know how to react to it.
Here you see the alignment. Down the right field line. That'll blow out a play. Has 5 strikeouts tonight. Number 6 would be a whopper right here.
It would come in handy. Strikeout, first pitch pop up to Rodriguez.
Now the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, and it hit him. And that'll load up the bases. Second batter that Cole has hit tonight. And Sean Rodriguez will come to the plate.
Now, this is obviously not what Cole was trying to do here, but it's like he's trying to make it. I mean, that is a short one. I mean, he really yanked that breaking ball. And look where this ball lands. In front of the chalk in the right-hand batter's box. I mean, that is definitely not the best thing that could have happened. It's not the worst thing. You still keep the double play in check here, but if anything, I'm kind of glad that hit Harrison. I don't. Chooch wouldn't have had a chance at
no, I don't think so.
That ball.
It looked like it hit the bone on the outside of his left leg, and that's why it shot up. So the bases are loaded. Harrison is the trail man. Walker's at third. Mercer's at second. Rodriguez is up. He hit into a double play his last time up. And he takes inside. It's 1-0. Off the foot of Rodriguez. Carlos makes the play and then tags out Rodriguez.
Tagged them both.
Yeah,
just in case.
Carlos is thinking that ball didn't hit his foot. He's holding on to the baseball. You know what? That didn't look like it hit his foot there. Unless it hit a little bit.
But I got to tell you, no one can react that quickly. As a hitter, I've seen hitters try and do it, and there's like that delayed reaction, like, oh, that's not going to be hit, so I'll say it hit my foot. That was too quick a reaction to think that quickly.
Yeah, well, it's nothing that can be reviewed anyway. I guess it hit the bottom of the foot.
Yeah, I think it did.
Change up, and it's 1-2. So he's ahead of Rodriguez. He was ahead of Harrison. You've got McCutchen on deck. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hamels working hard to get through this 5th inning. Curveball, got it. Strikeout number 6. And that'll bring McCutchen to the plate. It's time to take a look at our T-Mobile game changer. Cole Hamels here at Citizens Bank Park has 55 career wins. And he is the all-time leader at this point. The guys that are behind him cannot catch him.
I believe Ryan Madsen's up there. It's not a name I would expect.
How about that story? Ryan Madsen's really
good for him.
What a comeback this year. McCutchen lines one into center field, a base hit. 1 run is in. Here comes Jordy Mercer. He'll score. It's a 2-run single for McCutchen, and the Pirates lead it 2-0. Josh Harrison went to third on that base hit. RBIs 18 and 19 for Andrew McCutchen. RBI situation. He went hunting for a first pitch he could drive, and he got it.
He got it. I think it was a backdoor cutter. McCutchen goes up there and picks up his teammate. Sean Rodriguez there and gives him a little wink. That's what MVP candidates do, and MVP players. They pick their teammates up at opportune times. 2 outs, bases loaded.
Goes from first. Pitch is taken for a strike. Throw to second base. Cut off by Utley. They had no chance to get McCutchen. He had a pretty good jump. So second stolen base for McCutchen this year. And it puts runners on second and third.
He read Cole there very well. We've seen that a lot in this series, though. These guys are running the bases.
So to Major League Scoreboard, Johnny Peralta with 2 outs in the 7th inning has broken up Corey Kluber's no-hitter. First Indians pitcher with 16 strikeouts in a game since Luis Tiant. And he went from 13 to 16 pretty quick, didn't he?
That's a lot of strikeouts.
Second time this week that a Major League pitcher, or second time in a week that a Major League pitcher has 16 strikeouts. Michael Pineda for the Yankees had 16.
I mean, that's a lot of strikeouts.
I wonder what his pitch count's at.
That's what I was thinking.
He's probably not. I don't think he's not done. Could keep adding to it. He's at 101 pitches. Up the third base line. Hernandez has got it. He better hurry, and does. Not in time. Harrison scores. Right now it's 3-0 Pirates. Here comes Ryan Sandberg.
I don't know about that.
It really looked like he got him. But again, Dale Scott, the veteran umpire, was right there. I think you probably have to challenge this one. Although they'll get a clear indication after they wait a moment or two.
Cesar does everything he can in his power. Throws it off his right foot, off balance.
I think he's got him. I mean, he's out by a half step by that replay right there.
Maybe it was a question of whether Ryan came off the bag.
That's what I was
or not.
wondering. His foot is on the bag. He's out.
It's not even close.
All right, so it's going to be 2-0 in favor of the Pirates if they see what we see. The naked eye, it looked like he had gotten it. So Dale Scott and CB Buckner will put the headphones on. They will chat with the folks from New York. They've already looked at it up in New York. So they probably have a pretty good idea, and there's the call. So it was a quick one. That could be the quickest replay review that we've had. 5-3 on the putout. 2 runs do score on the base hit by Andrew McCutchen. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th inning, and the Phillies trail it 2-0. All right, Ben, you weren't born at this time, but which Pirate went 7 for 7 in a game versus the Cubs? By the way, we want to make sure everybody knows that Ben was correct. He did go 4 for 4 one time in a game against the Atlanta Braves back in 1999.
Huh.
Also had a home run in that game. 4 for 4 with a home run.
Off John Smoltz.
Wow. I do remember it.
Let's see, which Pirate went 7 for 7 in a game versus the Cubs? I'm not even going to pretend I know this one, Tom. I'm going to say 1975. I'm going to say Richie Hebner.
Good guess. Excellent guess. I thought you were going to go Al Oliver. Both would have been good. Rennie Stennett.
Huh. Yeah, no.
Log back on the Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of the Phillies prize pack. For playing tonight, Ben will get the home version of the Jeep Stump the Fans trivia quiz.
8.
Swing and a miss by Frank Cord. It's 0-2. I want you to know that within a matter of seconds, Mike Schmidt texted me the answer. He knew it right off the top of his head.
Amazing.
But he was alive.
Yes, he was. Very much so indeed.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Francoeur. Struck out his last time up. Reddy Stennett finished with 1,239 hits. A .274 career batting average. Most of his career was played with the Pittsburgh Pirates. Last couple seasons in the big leagues, he played for the Giants as Francoeur starts the 5th with a single to left center field.
Now the real question would be, how much did his batting average go up after that game?
Oh, excellent question. It's going to take a little time to figure that one out.
That bat went down a hero.
There's Cesar Hernandez. He tried to bunt his way on his first time up. That one's the other way. Another base hit. So the Phillies will have runners on first and third. Corey Hart's throw goes to second. Francoeur, who plays 8,000 miles a minute. He had no doubt in his mind he was heading to third on that. So first and third, nobody out for Carlos Ruiz. Well, it's time now for our GMC precision play of the game. And this is the play that ended the last half inning. It's a big one because a run would have scored if they didn't overturn that.
It's a tough play too. He's got to go. Basically, he's run. All his momentum's going towards home plate. Throws it off his right leg, and that gives you a little bit more stability to make that throw back across the diamond there.
So Dale Scott was asked to review it. He did, and they overturned it. Here's Ruiz with runners on first and third. Time is called as a wrapper blows right past Liriano's shoulder. Carlos takes inside, 1-0.
We always talk about planning ahead or thinking ahead in this ball game. Jeff Francoeur on that play. Ball wasn't hit hard. You got to know your outfielders, know their arm strength. You know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to be out on that field. You just think ahead. Different scenarios that may transpire. I think you put extra hair product in today, Tom.
My replay
really
review
windy.
card just blew out the window. My cheat sheet just blew out the window.
We'll get another one laminated for you.
Sorry about that, Ben.
No worries.
Man. Is the wind blowing? I just knocked your computer over as I reached out to get my...
I don't know how to use it anyway.
2 balls and 1 strike to Ruiz. And that pitch just a bit inside, 3-1. Well, he's been consistent. He hasn't given Liriano the inside pitch tonight. Liriano can't believe it.
Because it's a ball. It's a good pitch. It's a very good pitch, but it's a ball. Way inside, Tom.
And there's a line drive base hit. It's a left field. 1 run is in. Hernandez thinking third. He's going to get there. And Carlos is going to try for second. The throw. He is safe. A delay by Starling Marte. An RBI for Chooch. It's a 2-1 ball game.
Como un venado, like a deer. Chooch like a deer out there. He saw a slight hesitation by Starling Marte in left field, and he kicked it into overdrive. Overdrive for Chooch, that is. Good for him. He gets a ball and just lines it down the left field line here. 3-1 count, very aggressive. And Marte, you can see just a slight hesitation. Nah, I'm not going to throw it to third. I'm going to go to second. Throws it. He gets caught flat-footed. Chooch takes advantage of it. Tremendous base running there.
Watch it all happen right here.
No hesitation on either part.
And the reason there wasn't any hesitation is why Jay Dunn has given him a double on that, an RBI. Here's Hamels who takes a strike. Phillies have cut this lead in half. It's now a 2-1 ball game. The infield is in for the Pirates with runners on second and third. Now they move back. So they're going to concede the run here to get it out.
CB Buckner's running all over the place out there.
Hamels takes a strike. It's 0-2.
It's amazing how a pitch can go against the pitcher, and you can just take full advantage. Instead of that count being 2-2 to Chooch, it was 3-1.
Saw that the other night when Jerome Williams was out on the mound. And he gave up that 3-run home run.
Yep.
One ball, 2 strikes to Hamels. And he is struck out. So that's the first out for Liriano. And they'll bring Ben Revere to the plate.
Saw Ben today right before his group was about to hit. I said, be honest, how tired were you last night when you hit the double, head first into second? Gregory Polanco throws that errant throw, and he had to get up and basically sprint to third again to beat the throw. He goes, I ain't gonna lie. He goes, I was tired.
Well, let's see if he can pick up his first hit of the night. He's 0 for 2. And he hits that off his foot. And it's 0-1.
He said if there was going to be a close play right after that, he goes, I was going to be out at home.
Hernandez at third, Ruiz at second. It's a 2-1 ball game. No balls, 1 strike to Ben Revere. Inside. And Cervelli goes trotting out.
The 2 Franciscos. We're having a little fun in our little office saying Francisco.
That's fun to say.
It's fun to say. It's one of my favorite movies all time, Elf.
Would you have watched it if you didn't have 4 kids running around? Or
Absolutely.
3 running around, 1 about to crawl around. Outside, it's 2-1. Chopper right side. This will get the run home. Revere is retired. It's a 2-2 ball game as Cesar Hernandez crosses the plate. Over to third goes Ruiz. So although it's an out, it's a productive out. And it brings Freddie Galvis to the plate.
And hindsight's always 20/20, but Ben does a good job just putting the ball in play. But you have a guy at third base that's not a burner. You have a guy at home plate that hits a lot of choppers and ground balls. You know, if you play in there, you may be able to cut that run down.
Yeah, I thought they'd play in with Hamels up too. Fortunately, though, they did not. With Ben Revere at the plate.
Maybe Clint Hurdle's thinking, you know what? Their guys getting close to 100 pitches. You're going to have to go to the bullpen. We have some time.
Down the right field line, and it is a fair ball. The Phillies take the lead. Freddie Galvis with his second hit of the night. Ruiz scores. It's a 3-2 Phillies lead.
Well, he just hit that one just low enough to keep it below the wind.
Yeah, honestly, when it left the bat, I didn't think there was any chance it was going to stay
No
there.
way. I'm thinking that ball, like every other ball we've seen hit down the right field line.
Absolutely.
He is buying into this new approach, isn't he?
Well, success is going to breed the confidence that he needs to keep doing it. He's up to 336 with his average. Chase Utley's the hitter. He struck out twice. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Well, Cole Hamels has the lead here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Side 96 from Liriano.
That had a little ticked off on it.
Added about 3 miles to the velocity.
Yep.
Goodness, that didn't have a little ticked off on it, because that was at 91. If it was at 96, Chase would have had a tough time getting away from it.
I think you would have had an ice pack on his shoulder a little later.
Chopper to first, and an easy play for Rodriguez. Phillies, though, take the lead. They scored 3 runs in the inning. Carlos Ruiz, an RBI double. Ben Revere, an RBI ground out. Freddie Galvis has given them the lead with his 2nd hit of the night. On to the 6th. It's 3-2 Phillies. And bat, compliments of Sports for All. Tickets can be purchased by going to Phillies.com. Phillies and the Diamondbacks, a 3-game series beginning Friday nights. Phillies lead at 3-2. Shot from the upper deck here at Citizens Bank Park. Fanatic just finished up his dance routine. Hey, we get set for the top of the 6th inning. Cole Hamels has a lead to work with. He'll face Corey Hart, who he struck out twice, Francisco Cervelli, and Neil Walker. Swing and a miss. It's 0-1. Corey Kluber is up to 18 strikeouts. That game's in the bottom of the 8th inning. 18 Ks, the most in American League games since Clemens was pitching for the Blue Jays in 1999. It ties Clemens' record for ties the Cleveland record for a 9-inning game. And he ties Bob Feller, 1938.
Clemens struck out 19 Mariners when he was with Boston.
I thought it was more than that, wasn't it? But yes, he did strike out a whole lot of Mariners.
Yes. This changeup, I'm telling you, it's Corey Hart. He just can't figure it out right now. Gets inserted in the lineup. He's got to go face Cole Hamels. Thanks, Clint.
There is Francisco Cervelli, who is 1 for 2. He takes inside. 20 Mariners is what Clemens struck out. I knew it was more than that. I thought it might have been 21, but it was 20. Inside, 2-0. Clemens actually had 2 20 strikeout games, the one against the Mariners in '86, and then 10 years later, a little more than 10 years later, against the Detroit Tigers, he struck out 20.
Now, there's a lot of records in this game that I don't think will ever be beaten. I think one is he's got 7 Cy Youngs, Roger Clemens does. 7.
I have an autographed jersey from him when he was with the Red Sox. I don't know why I have it, but it said Roger Clemens 3 Cy Youngs. 2-2 pitch to Cervelli, and he hits it foul between the legs of Ruiz.
You have to put my jacket on, Tom.
It's a little chilly tonight. Inside again, 3-2. Hamels at 102 pitches, so this is probably his last inning of work. Trying to get through this one. He's had 5 full counts tonight. Boy, he's had a good fastball tonight. He's had a really good changeup tonight. Got him with a changeup. 8 strikeouts for Hamels. Start your morning out right by waking up with Rob Ellis, Julian Neely, Sarah Baker, and Barrett Brooks on Breakfast on Broad, presented by Virtua Joint Replacement. Weekday mornings from 6 until 8 over on the Comcast Network and streaming live on breakfastonbroad.com.
I have him down for 8 strikeouts.
Yeah.
You have, Tom?
That's what I have.
And again, 8 strikeouts. You throw a lot of pitches. Kluber's got 18 punchies.
For Cleveland Indians, the most strikeouts in a game. Luis Tiant, 19. Bob Feller, 18 twice. Kluber has 18 through 8. Well, he's got to be done after 8. Maybe not.
Unless he's doing it on 3 pitches. A lot of them. I don't know.
Well, he's over 100 pitches. He was at 101 through 7. I mean, Terry Francona has been thrown out of the ballgame, so.
And it's May 13th.
Yeah. 113 strikeouts, or pitches, I'm sorry. So the ratio on Hamels, 70 strikes, 36 balls. Now the 0-2 pitch in the dirt, 1-2.
Not a good night for contact lenses. They will dry out in a hurry.
Over to third, Cesar Hernandez is up with it. And the side is retired in order. Hamels gets the Pirates 1-2-3 here in the top of the 6th. So we played 5.5 on to the bottom of the 6th inning. Darren Ruff, Ryan Howard, and Jeff Francoeur. Further by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. And by your Delaware Valley Honda dealers. Hurry to your local Del Val Honda dealer or visit DelValHondaDealers.com today. For the Diamond Club, you're watching the Phils lead the Pirates 3-2. As we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Darren Ruff is 1 for 2. He's singled. He's also struck out tonight against Liriano, who's only throwing his 74th pitch of the night. And it's in there for a strike, 0-1.
Tom, I don't see anybody warming up in Phillies pen.
Well, he's just over 100 pitches. Maybe they give him the 7th inning. 0-2 to Ruff. .108 pitches for Cole Hamels tonight.
If he could get them through the 7th, what a big boost that would be for the pen.
Yeah, you just turn it over to Giles and then hopefully Papelbon after that. So we get a base. Ruff is struck out for the 2nd time. 6 strikeouts for Francisco Liriano. It's time for the Major League Notebook. Here's Greg Murphy. Murph.
All right, thanks a lot, Tom. Yeah, well, Michael Taylor, as you guys mentioned earlier in the broadcast, was the hero as the Nationals beat the Diamondbacks today 9-6. But here's the rub. He hit a grand slam in the 9th inning to take the lead and give the Nats the win. But he would not have even been in the game had Bryce Harper not been thrown out of the game for arguing a check swing 3rd strike call earlier. So Bryce Harper gets thrown out of the game. Taylor comes in for him. Hits the grand slam. The Nats are hot. When you're hot, you're hot. Yasiel Puig, got some news on him. He has been battling that hamstring since April 13th. Been on and off the field. Well, Don Mattingly finally said today that at this point he will be out for a couple of weeks. They are looking at him as a complete rehab project at this point. He is staying off it right now, so he will not be back in the Dodgers lineup for quite some time. So Yasiel Puig, finally a timeline on his injury because we've been getting a lot of day-to-day on him, but he's going to be out for a little while, guys.
All right, Murph. Hey, Murph, just so you know,
yep.
Behind you are several people still wearing T-shirts. Meanwhile, you're wearing a winter coat.
Well, that's because I have the winter coat. They probably do not because they showed up in a T-shirt. Maybe I should be nice enough and go get them a jacket. It's chilly down here. I'll tell you what, when the wind blows, it's cold. And I don't feel like being cold anymore.
Taking control of the situation.
That's right.
3 balls and 1 strike. See, those guys are toughing it out. Now their arms are crossed. That's because they're chilly. Arms are crossed. Try to stay warm, keeping their hands warm.
Where are we looking?
We're just showing random shots.
Oh, okay.
There's guys up behind you, up near the doors of the Diamond Club, that are wearing T-shirts. Look, guy's wearing shorts, Murph. That guy's got shorts on. Ask him if he would want a jacket if he had one. Would he wear it?
Excuse me, sir. Are you cold? Are you cold? Not cold at all, he says. Much tougher than I am, apparently. What can I tell you?
You don't have hand warmers in your pockets, too, do you?
And electric socks.
Well, Ryan Howard works on a 1-out walk here at the bottom of the 6th. I'd probably be wearing a jacket, too, if I was out there. See, they're cold. She's cold. Jeff Francoeur singled and scored in the 5th inning. Struck out his first time up. And he takes outside. It's 1 ball and no strikes. Over to shortstop. That might be 2. There's 1. And a 6-4-3 double play. Phils are retired here in the 6th inning. No runs, no hits, and nobody left. So on to the 7th we go. Cole Hamels and the Phils on top, 3-2. now for your Delaware Valley Honda dealers game summary. The Phillies lead 3-2 thanks to a Carlos Ruiz double, Freddie Galvis single, and a Ben Revere ground out. Cole Hamels has gone 6 so far, 8 strikeouts, and he begins the 7th. Well, the ice cream's certainly not going to melt tonight. Man, that looks good, even though it's a little cool outside. Look out, Sweet Level. Look out.
That ball was very foul. I don't think I've seen a right-hander hit one that far foul here.
That was pretty far foul. Out to right field, Jeff Francoeur. He puts it away, 1 out. These lucky fans are tonight's Citizens 7. They were to receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Good banking is simple, clear, and personal. Now that's helping you bank better. Citizens Bank.
Some excited fans there, huh?
They got a giveaway. Got to be excited about it. Pops it foul over the tarp out of play.
Tried to tie it up.
Yeah, he did. Well, for Hamels, as you mentioned, if he can get through this 7th inning, it really sets the bullpen up in a pretty good way. It's no balls and 1 strike to Liriano. With a straight back just in front of us, and it's 0-2. Hands hurt, but he got another souvenir. It's the 2nd one tonight. Swing and a miss. Strikeout number 9 for Hamels. And there are 2 outs here in the 7th.
Good swing on the heater, not so much on this one. Right on it. Good. 3 pitches.
Yeah, 114 pitches is not a heavy workload for somebody like Hamels. We've seen him be far and away above this in his career. Ground ball left side, surrounded by Galvis. Strong throw in time. A 1-2-3 7th inning. Boy, that's some production right there by Cole Hamels. It's a 7-pitch inning to get him through the top of the 7th. Time to stretch here in Philadelphia. The Phils lead it by 1. Fifth inning, Phillies up by 1, 3-2, 3 runs on 6 hits for the Phils. WB Mason is this season's breakout facilities maintenance player, specializing in all your cleaning needs. WB Mason also provides a full selection of 3M safety products that can't be struck out. Who but WB Mason?
I was watching quick slants the other night, and I'm looking at Gunnar, I'm thinking, what is so different about Gunnar?
Stash, man.
Shave the stash.
Cesar Hernandez takes outside. There is Kenny Giles warming up in the pen. Hernandez is 1 for 2. Singled his last time up. Chopper over to third. Fair ball. Harrison has it. And 1 out. Well, live now on Phillies.com is another section of the fantastic auction. It'll close tomorrow at 10 a.m. In fact, these items that close tomorrow at 10 a.m. include throwing out the ceremonial first pitch here at Citizens Bank Park. A trip for 2 to see the Phillies play the Giants in San Francisco. Host your Fantasy League draft at Citizens Bank Park in partnership with 94 WIP and 1210 WPHT. Go to Phillies.com to make your bid. The other part of the auction that we were talking about closed a few minutes ago. Ruiz takes down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Doubled his last time up. Was able to hustle his way to second base on that double. Sort of helped the Phillies get that 3rd run. They probably would have scored anyway. Actually, you know what? It would have been a double play ball to end the inning 2 batters later. So that double's a huge play right now.
Great hustle play by Chooch.
3 balls, 1 strike. You got the green light. Talking to Major League Scoreboard, Todd Frazier's homered again, and the Braves trail the Reds 5-1. That game's at the top of the 8th inning.
Does he have now?
I think that's 13, if I'm not mistaken. Fly ball right center field. McCutchen goes a long way, but Hart is there. The ball blew all the way back toward Hart on that slice.
Like your tee shot.
Yeah, it did. Lately, it did.
Yeah, Hart hardly had to go anywhere. And McCutchen is out there. He must have run maybe 60 yards after that one.
By the way, 12 home runs for Todd Frazier.
Who is from?
Tom's River.
Great Garden State.
The Great Garden State. Thank you. Inside the Blanco, it's 1-0. We'll let you back in to go to the beach this summer.
Thanks, Tom.
Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Blanco on the year 7 for 26, hitting .269. Foul ball off the shin guards of Cervelli, and it's 2-1. Well, the Phillies really needed Hamels to step up tonight, and he did. 7 innings, 5 hits, and 2 earned runs. A walk and 9 strikeouts. They needed him to step up, A, because the bullpen's really been used a lot lately. But B, once they got the lead, boy, him throwing that extra inning and setting it up for Giles is fantastic.
He was excellent. Just excellent.
Works out a 2-out walk, so he's aboard. Revere's coming up. Ben is 0 for 3 in this game. But has an RBI his last time up. Belly, after the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike, will go out to talk to Liriano. That's because they're trying to get somebody up and throwing in the Pirates bullpen. Much to the chagrin of the fanatic who has to sit and wait. MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 13 years. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 400 mobile and connected devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking widget, and more. Every night on every device. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Visit MLB.TV for details. A lefty and a righty. We saw Scahill last night. He's got a good arm. Pirates are without the former Philly left-hander Antonio Bastardo, who is out on paternity leave. Antonio and his wife gave birth to a little boy earlier this week. Congratulations to him. Little bloop out to left. That'll drop for a base hit. Blanco will stop at second. And the Phillies have runners on first and second now with 2 outs. And the red-hot Freddie Galvis is coming up.
Heard the baby took a while to deliver.
You had to go there, didn't you?
Antonio not known for his
He was deliberate.
Pace of game.
Yeah. Here's Ray Searage going out to the mound to talk to Liriano, continuing to buy some time. With Galvis due up here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Phils would love an insurance run or 2 here. Pitches for Liriano, 24 in the 5th. That's when the Phillies scored their 3 runs. Everything else, though, has been pretty smooth for him. He has struck out 6 and now has allowed 7 hits. So Galvis will probably be his final batter. We'll see.
Be so surprised if that was a meeting and say, hey, you know what, this guy's got a couple hits off you tonight. The guy on deck you've handled easily, so you don't have to be too fine with him. You only had 100 pitches. Big run out there, Freddie.
Low ball 3-0. Chase Utley is on deck. Utley has struck out twice against Liriano. He's also chopped one to first base. That was in his last at bat. Ball 4 and the bases are now loaded.
You know what that shows me right there, Tom? He understands the situation. Freddie does. And to be a younger player, that's what we talk about, baseball knowledge. And knowing the game, knowing how to be a baseball player. He knew he wasn't going to get anything to hit. He didn't budge on any of those pitches.
Yeah, well, I guess after the first one was out of the strike zone, all of a sudden you're thinking, all right, well, I've got 2 tonight.
Yeah.
Utley's 0 for 3. It's lefty on lefty, so he's going to try to get me out with something that's not a strike. Let's see if Utley can make him pay with the workarounds. And he pulls that one toward first, and it's picked up by Rodriguez, and the run of the bag is won by Rodriguez, and the side is retired. So Liriano leaves him loaded here in the 7th. No runs, 1 hit, and 3 men left. We'll go to the 8th inning. Phillies will go to the bullpen up by 1. Cleveland, where Corey Kluber struck out 18 St. Louis Cardinals. Pretty incredible stuff watching these highlights. Now, this is not, your everyday run-of-the-mill lineup that he went after. This is one of the best offensive lineups in all of Major League Baseball. Final score was the Indians 2 and the Cardinals nothing. 8 innings tonight, 113 pitches. That was pretty electric. You see the reaction from the small crowd there at Progressive Fields.
113 pitches?
Yeah.
18 strikeouts. So I'm telling you, a lot of those had to be 0-2, 1-2 strikeouts.
See the changes for the Phils. Blanco stays in and plays third. They move Hernandez from third to second. And now Kenny Giles, 1-1 this year, a 0.63 ERA. And he's going to face Gregory Polanco, who's going to pinch hit for the Pirates. Polanco did not play or did not start tonight's ball game. Played the first 2 games of this series. Had 3 hits. He takes strike 1. It's 0-1. 1 for 10 as a pinch hitter. Giles fastball, that one there at 95 miles an hour.
But where was it located?
Perfectly. It's hit foul off the front of the camera well. 0-2. Up high, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. That one is a bullet down the right field line. It is a foul ball. Oof. Got that pitch in, and Polanco turned his hips and engaged.
Ball was down the middle, wasn't it, Tom?
Yeah, he missed his spot. Two balls, 2 strikes to Polanco. Off the end of the bat, that'll roll foul. It'll be Polanco and then Andrew McCutchen and Starling Marte. That's some pretty good heavy lifting for Ken Giles here in the 8th inning.
See if he's up to the task.
To center field. Ben Revere is there. And 1 away. Well, this Saturday when the Phillies take on the Arizona Diamondbacks, it's our Hatfield Dollar Dog Night of the homestand. 3-game series against the D-backs Friday night, Saturday night, and Sunday afternoon. Tickets can be purchased for all 3 games by going to Phillies.com. Now McCutchen, who has the 2 runs batted in tonight for the Pirates on 1 big swing in the 5th inning against Cole Hamels. Outstanding through 7 tonight. Over to third. That's a fair ball. Knocked down by Blanco. Recovers quickly in time. Big time arm by Andres Blanco for the 2nd out.
Yeah. Laser. Lucky that ball didn't hit the bag. And lucky Andres doesn't panic. Yes, you have a fast runner. Ball's hit hard. Gets to it. Sets his feet. I wouldn't panic if I had that arm either. Wow.
Ball was spinning pretty good as it went over that bag.
It was.
So here's Marte, who's 0 for 3. 2 ground outs and a fly out to left. Breaking ball down and away. It's 1-0.
Like one of those balls that Larry Bowa hits to them during batting practice. He stands in the kind of like towards the on-deck circle of right-handed batter's box, and he hits missiles at these guys.
That one's hit through the hole on the left side, a base hit. 2-out single for Marte. Pedro Alvarez is going to pinch hit for Corey Hart. So Alvarez will stay in the game to play first base. Said Sean Rodriguez was pinch hit for. Alvarez is 5 for 31. Well, there you see it as a pinch hitter. They'll move Blanco over to the right side of the diamond. Now time is called. Bob McClure is coming out. Just a quick scouting report on Pedro Alvarez, although I'm sure Ken Giles knows everything about the power hitting first baseman for the Pirates. Every time the Phillies pitchers retire the opposition 1-2-3, Comcast will make a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by Xfinity, the official entertainment provider of the Philadelphia Phillies. Toby Basner comes over to break up the conversation.
Lengthy discussion, wasn't it?
Well, I think they probably talked about a couple things. One is obviously Alvarez's scouting report. The other thing is Marte, 5 of 6 with stolen base attempts this year. 41 steals 2 years ago, 30 steals last year.
A power guy out of the bullpen, Kenny does have a very quick move to home plate. A lot of these power guys like to really gather themselves over top the rubber and deliver the pitch, but he's able to gather himself quickly and still get a lot on his fastball.
A little low, and it's 2-0. Marte takes his lead off first. There's a slider in there, or fastball, I should say. Boy, that had some wicked movement in it. Now it's 2 balls and 1 strike.
Late cut on it. Late cut.
From our vantage point, looking down, it almost looked like it did, just as you said, a late cut down and in. There's a slider. It's 2-2. First one he's thrown to Alvarez since the first pitch.
So that one, and I got to ask him if he's doing that purposely. I mean, I got to catch him in the offseason, but he throws the one that goes straight down and the one that's more lateral.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Alvarez. Runner goes, then stops, and the pitch is foul tipped into the glove of Ruiz, and the side is retired. Kenny Giles does his part. No runs, 1 hit, and 1 man left for the Pirates here in the top of the 8th inning. Here it is. It's not 100 miles, Giles, tonight, but he got the job done in a big way. Sets things up for the Phils to come to bat in the bottom of the 8th, up by 1. Of the game.
This is a good one here by Cesar Hernandez, coming in, attacking the ball, throwing off his right foot, and making a strong throw to first base, which Dale Scott originally deemed safe. He's able to make the call, and here Andres Blanco settles himself on this ball. McCutchen hits, kind of catches him off guard though, but doesn't panic, and throws a rocket across the diamond. And they are Hyundai defensive plays of the game.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 8th inning. Ralph Scahill is going to be the new pitcher for the Pirates. He'll take over for Francisco Liriano. Liriano goes 7 innings, 7 hits, and 3 earned runs. 3 walks and 6 strikeouts. Darren Ruff will lead it off. He takes a slider down and away. 1 ball, no strikes. Placido Polanco is warming up in the bullpen, or excuse me, Jonathan Papelbon is warming up in the bullpen for the Phillies. There he is. Gregory Polanco stays in the game to play right field. Alvarez stays in the game to play first base for Pittsburgh. There's Alvarez. And there is Polanco. 2 balls, 1 strike to Ruff. Everybody is okay. They're wondering, where's the ball? Now they're taking a look at the mark on the seat.
It went through the seat.
3-2 pitch to Ruff. Hit foul again, off to the right.
Imagine if Darren gets on here, you see Odubel pinch run for him and then play the outfield.
Chops it at the plate, remains 3 balls and 2 strikes. Ruff singled his first at bat and then struck out his last 2 times up against Francisco Liriano. Ryan Howard is on deck. Phillies will turn to Papelbon in the top of the 9th inning. They'd love to do it with an extra run or 2. Another foul ball. Ruff battling up there against Scahill, a guy that he's not all that familiar with. There's Papelbon. Swing and a miss. Well, that was a big curveball right there by Scahill. Phillies baseball is brought to you by WB Mason. You can't go wrong when you buy right. And by Nissan. Choose Nissan today for great offers on our most exciting lineup ever. Shop Nissan.com. Now with 1 out, Ryan Howard will get a chance to bat against a right-hander. Howard has grounded out twice and walked. Takes a breaking ball outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Inside.
this kid's arm. I really do. Good off speed. Fastball gets on hitters.
Well, he certainly has put together good numbers to start the year. 2 balls and 1 strike to Howard. His earned run average 0.61. Fouls it back.
Definitely see he's able to throw his breaking ball behind in the count. Got rough on the full count. Breaking ball he threw to strike him out. The 2-0 backdoor slider to Ryan Howard here.
Back-to-back strikeouts, and there's 2 gone now in the 8th inning. And here's Jeff Francoeur, who is 1 for 3 tonight. Francoeur, his second time up, single to left field. Little bloop single to left field, and then went to third on the base hit by Hernandez. And then scored on the double by Carlos Ruiz. And that one's pulled towards short on 1 hop. Mercer has it on the backhand. And Francoeur's retired, so are the Phils here in the bottom of the 8th inning. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils on to the top of the 9th inning as Jonathan Papelbon is in search of a little Phillies history, with the Phillies on top by 1. Performance at tonight's Phillies-Pirates matchup only on Cure Auto Insurance presents Phillies Post-Game Live. Phillies lead it 3-2 as we go to the top of the 9th inning. Jonathan Papelbon is warming up out on the mound for the Phils. 14th game, a 1.35 earned run average, 6 saves in 6 opportunities. And Murph, we mentioned he's on the doorstep of a little Phillies history with this appearance tonight.
He absolutely is. We've had to wait a couple days to see Jonathan Papelbon again, but getting a chance for his 7th save of the season, Tom, and yeah, that one would be historic. He is currently tied with Jose Mesa atop the all-time saves list for the Phillies. He would move into sole possession of that with his 113th career save for the Philadelphia Phillies. Be tops in the organization. He already is tops in the Red Sox organization, which would make him the second player in baseball history to be the saves leader in 2 different organizations. And when you stop and think about it, Tom, the Red Sox and the Phillies, 2 teams that have been around for a long, long time.
Yep.
It certainly is very impressive what Jonathan Papelbon has an opportunity to do tonight.
Yeah, Rob Nen is the only other pitcher to have the all-time saves lead for 2 organizations, San Francisco and Florida. But as Murph alluded to, this is the Phillies and the Red Sox. San Francisco's been around for a long time. Marlins, not so long. Francisco Cervelli's the first batter. The 1-0 pitch to him is inside. It's 2-0. Odubel Herrera takes over in center field for the Phils. That moves Ben Revere to left. And it moves Darren Ruff from left field over to first base, where he takes over for Ryan Howard. Two-0 pitch. A little high. It's 3-0. So the Phillies infield from third to first is Blanco at third, Galvis at short, Cesar Hernandez at second, and Darren Ruff at first. I mentioned this last night, but talking to Pat the other day about the all-time saves record, it's something that he is proud of and will be proud of when he gets it. But as he said, championships, championships, and championships is what he wants. And when it's grounded foul, it's 3-2.
These guys play more than, they play for more than just a paycheck. That's the reason they come to the field every day, put the uniform on. They want to win.
Well, he's 331 career saves, 10 shy of Rollie Fingers, who is 12th all time. There's ball 4, and Cervelli works out a leadoff walk.
Cervelli did hit a double off him last night to start off that 9th inning. Paps was coming in to get some work.
Well, Steve Lombardozzi's going to pinch run for Francisco Cervelli. Neil Walker tonight is 1 for 2. He walked his first time up, singled his next time, and then grounded out to third. Now batting left-handed. Previous ABs were right-handed. Takes a strike. It's 0-1.
I wouldn't be surprised if he took off here. Paps is extremely slow to home plate. Plus, they haven't been caught this whole series, so
it's been
be surprised.
Big part of their arsenal. Split finger fastball. It's no balls and 2 strikes.
It's tough though when he's holding the ball like that. Not only does it throw off the base runner's timing, it throws off the hitter's timing. Neil Walker.
A toss over to first. That ball's 2 strikes. And he got it. Ruiz hangs on, 1 away here in the 9th inning.
Good pitch right here by Paps. That ball just, talking about some late life. I mean, that ball was straight, right turn.
Well, here's Jordy Mercer. Mercer is 1 for 3. He also singled back in the 5th inning. That's when the Pirates scored 2 runs. Pirates took a 2-0 lead in their half of the 5th. The Phillies then erased it and took the 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Quick toss over to first. And now Carlos out to chat with Papelbon. This is the 128th opportunity for Papelbon to close out a Phillies ball game. Jose Mesa had 112 saves and 129 opportunities. He did not play for great ball clubs, obviously, when he was with the Phils.
He drove some managers nuts, didn't he?
Yeah, he would work some deep counts and have some base runners. He was a good guy, though.
Great guy. Big man.
Larry Bowa was the manager of the Phillies. You know, he was kind of the leader of that bullpen. And you're right, he was a big man. Side 1-0. For the most part this year, Papelbon, when he's in games, has had every pitch working. And he's not going to overpower anybody anymore. His fastball has topped off this year at 93 miles an hour, but he's been a smart pitcher, utilizing all three of his pitches.
He's definitely pitchy. He's just not.
He just let that one fly. This is going to be trouble because Lombardozzi is going to get all the way to third on those pickoff attempts. An E1. He threw it right over the head of Darren Ruff. Well, it gets a little dicier. Darren went down a little bit to get in position to make a tag, and the throw took him back up again.
Yeah, but it still looked like a ball that Darren could handle.
It looked like a ball he could have caught, yeah.
I don't think, Paps has varied the speed as to which he was throwing it to first base. A couple throws before that, he kind of lobbed it over there. That one he put something on, and I don't think Darren was ready for it.
So a runner at third, the Phils up by 1 here in the top of the 9th inning. They'll bring the infield in with the count 1 ball and no strikes to Jordy Mercer. Fly ball, shallow right field. Francoeur comes ambling in. Over toward the line, makes the catch. Tagging from third is Lombardozzi. The throw to the plate. He is out! Save number 113 for Jonathan Papelbon. It's a new Phillies franchise record, and the rifle arm of Jeff Francoeur helped Papelbon's cause and his trek to the record. 3-2 the final score. What a throw by Jeff Francoeur.
Picking up your teammate right there, T-Mac.
That will be a save that Jonathan Papelbon and everybody else will remember. He passes Jose Mesa as the all-time saves leader in Philadelphia Phillies history.
I'll tell you what, in my head I'm saying, throw him out, throw him out. And he did. You have to send him there. Lombardozzi, you have to send him.
Well, here is our W.B. Mason delivery of the game.
Fly ball, foul territory. Francoeur has to get over there with the way the wind's been blowing balls into the stands. Gets his feet set and throws a strike to home plate. Gets himself settled. Probably the biggest question he was going to ask is, should I bounce it or air it out? He airs it out. Chooch applies the tag. And that is a way to end it. Tell you what, that is awesome.
What a way to get a record. Jonathan Papelbon is down on the field with Greg Murphy. Murph?
All right, thank you very much, guys. Yeah, wow, what a way for that to end. Save number 113. We'll get to the historical part of that in just a second, but anything you'd like to say about Jeff Francoeur at this moment?
I don't know. What just happened?
out?
They're not always pretty. And I've always said a closer is nobody without the men in front of them and the men that play behind them. And, it takes a team to win this game, and we're starting to understand that. And hopefully we can continue to do that, man. And every day is a fun day when you win, man, regardless of the save or not.
Well, that was fun, but let's talk about the history. I know you understand the history of this game. 113 saves for this organization, now tops all time. You also hold that spot for the Red Sox. Only the second man in baseball ever to do that. Can you put that in perspective? To be saves is what you do, and you're at the top in both the franchises you played for.
It's hard for me to really put it in perspective. I think when my career's over, I'll think about all that. I just toe it up every day, come to work, and be ready to play every day. And that's all I really necessarily worry about right now. And that's just how I go about it.
I know you're a fierce competitor, and it's all about winning for you. And a lot of the guys in that club, it's all the guys in that clubhouse. You had a chance to make your last two saves, the one that tied it, the one that got you the record for Cole Hamels. I know you guys have a special bond. Pretty nice to be able to do that as well.
Yeah, Cole's a tremendous teammate, man, and it's fun playing behind him. And I think every fifth day when he toes the rubber, it's a very special day. And for me, it's fun playing with guys like that, for sure.
Well, it was fun to watch you tonight. It was fun to watch 113 saves in this Phillies uniform. Pat, congratulations on that. Guys, we'll send it back upstairs.
All right, Murph, thank you very much. In 211 games, Jonathan Papelbon becomes the all-time saves leader in Philadelphia Phillies history, and he joins Rob Nen as the leader of two different teams during his major league career. Papelbon with the Sox and now the Phils. Rob Nen with the Marlins and the San Francisco Giants. They will authenticate that baseball. And for Jonathan Papelbon, it's one that he will keep forever. This ball traveled so fast from Jeff Francoeur to Carlos Ruiz. I don't know if it traveled as fast as hearts were racing as this play was unfolding. An unbelievable way to finish off the game and an unbelievable way to get Jonathan Papelbon the record. The Phillies win it. They end their 4-game losing streak by a final score of 3-2. We'll be back to wrap it up as best we can after this.